In this video, we'll continue with AP multiple choice related race problems, and we have 1993 BC 34. We have a ladder, 40-foot ladder, leaning against the wall so that the NP is against the vertical wall and the NQ is on level ground. Now if the ladder is slipping down the wall, and so I write dy dt with an arrow showing that it's going down, we're looking for the distance RQ at the instant when Q is moving along the ground 3/4 as fast as P is moving down the wall. So P here is really just our Y coordinate and Q is just our X coordinate. So that the length RQ is really just the quantity X. If this were superimposed onto an XY coordinate plane with that right angle being at the origin. So what we're trying to find here is what is the value of X when point Q is moving along the ground 3/4 as fast as P is moving down the wall. And we'll write that as dx dt, that's the speed at which Q, or the velocity at which Q is moving along the ground, is equal to 3/4 dy dt, which is the velocity at which P is moving down the wall. Alright, so we'll need a formula to relate these values together, and that's simply x squared plus y squared equals 40 squared. We're going to differentiate both sides with respect to t. We get 2x dx dt plus 2y dy dt is equal to 0. We'll divide both sides by 2, and we're left with x dx dt plus y dy dt is equal to 0. At this point we can use our identity or our criteria above that dx dt must be equal to 3/4 dy dt. So we have x times 3/4 dy dt plus y dy dt is equal to 0. We multiply out, we get 3/4 x dx dt, sorry, that's 3/4 x dy dt plus y dy dt is equal to 0. Now we still don't know what x is, y is, or dy dt, but we're going to be able to use a little trick here. If we factor out the dy dt, we'll have dy dt times 3/4 x plus y is equal to 0. And from here we know that since the y coordinate, or the tip along the vertical wall, is slipping down the wall, dy dt can't be 0. And if this product is going to be 0, then 3/4 x plus y has to equal 0. And this will happen when y is equal to negative 3/4 x. So what we're going to do with this is now go back to the original formula, x squared plus y squared equals 40 squared. We're going to substitute in y is equal to negative 3/4 x, and we'll be down to one variable, one equation, and we'll be able to find x. So I'll start this over on the other side. We have x squared plus y squared is 1600. We'll substitute y is equal to negative 3/4 x, and square that is equal to 1600. When we square out the negative 3/4 x, we'll have x squared plus 9/16 x squared. And that will be equal to 1600. Now if we treat x squared as 16 over 16 x squared, then we'll end up with 25 over 16 x squared is equal to 1600. Multiply both sides by 16 over 25, and we'll get x squared is equal to 1024, or x is equal to 32. And that gives us choice E. And I'm going to stop this video here because I won't have time to fit another problem in these 5 minutes.